Hi, my name is Josh. Today I am who I am because of the dark, traumatizing road that I walked down with which shaped who I am today. While thinking of past memories from my childhood life experience, I always remember the German traditional Christmases, experiencing of spending time together with the family, opening our gifts, making the Christmas cookies, decorating Christmas cookies. We watched Christmas movies together and just enjoying the Christmas spirit together with the short lives that we have. We are a very close knit religious Christian core values family in which we worship the Lord as our Savior and our Father when we are down, depressed, and feeling ill and or ill-minded. Most of my memories come from my father's side of the family, as my mother divorced my father when I was only 6 months old. And we have a rocky relationship between us still to this day, but it's working one day at a time. I owned up to my own emotion to her, but since then, we are taking life one day at a time, like I previously said, to rekindle the relationship but at the end of the day, she still is my mother no matter what happens in life. My biological mother. Even though we have our differences, my German family members decide to stay civil around me and my brother to keep the momentum and the theme of family that is most important in life to survive. My mother's side of the family is not in the picture primarily because my mother decided to affiliate herself with someone of the other race. She also has had a child out of wedlock, meaning she had an interracial baby with a Native American man in Philadelphia. Now, on the opposing side of my father, all he has is his brother who only reaches out to my dad when he's in a pinch for money. I get he is family, but he's spoiled as he is a psychiatrist and an alcoholic. My mother is sibling 2 of 3, which means she is the second born and middle to last child of her side of the family. I am unaware of how many siblings my grandmother has. Everyone in my mother's side of the family is of Christian faith. One of the most memorable traditions my mother would like to do with me and my brothers, my 2 other brothers, were to think about and formulate a New Year's resolution and try to live up to the occasion of our New Year's resolution. For example, my New Year's resolution this year was to make it past and stay on the straight and narrow path of 1 year clean and sober from all drugs. Moral of the story? I've made it pretty well into my recovery. According to studyingingerman.org, in Germany, a percentage of 65 to 70% of the individuals recognize themselves as Christian. Germans are known to drink lots of beer, eat sausages, and bake bread of different tastes every time. As someone in a German family, my mother, when we did visit her, would go pumpkin picking for Halloween and decorate the pumpkins for fun, even though she lives in a bad part of Philadelphia. Every funeral service that happens in my mother's side of the family, they use that as an excuse to drink past getting drunk and or high on drugs, which is why my father and my mother have shielded me from going to these funerals and events in the family, as I am a recovering drug addict. I feel as if I'm a victim of my mother's side of the family, as we are mentally messed up and emotionally, physically sick. The goal of drinking on my mother's side of the family is to continue to drink without stopping to the point that they pass out and or die of alcoholism, which most of my family members have taken part of that, and that makes me who I am, partially. My mother's mother, she decided to favorite her mother's older sister rather than my mother due to the interracial relationship also having it revolve around cohabitation and wedlock of a child. Moving on to my father is a sibling of my father is sibling number 4 out of 4 siblings, and he is the youngest of 4 siblings by 9 years to his oldest living sibling, in which his oldest living brother is not on good terms with him for unknown reasons and personal reasons. All of my grandfather from my father's side of the family are long past deceased, all the siblings. Again, with that one, I don't really know much about it. My father's side of the family primarily consists of Lutheran religion of faith. My father was taught by his father not to talk about mental health, physical health, and or sexuality, as it is a sign of weakness. My grandfather grew up in a time when he learned never to disrespect the authorities and your elders, as it would be morally wrong. My father has 2 other siblings who are sadly victims of the Vietnam War, as they were killed on the line of duty, and currently they are listed as missing in action but presumed dead. They were never found. They were war heroes. My father was in the army when he was growing up, but his parents were against him joining due to thinking my father may die the same way as his deceased twin brothers. My father said that his mother, my grandmother, favored his oldest living brother over him, and in retrospect, his father, my grandfather, favored my father. The first tradition that I can think of that my father would do with me is to read the night before Christmas every year, as that tradition was passed down throughout the Eckert generation. Every Christmas, Thanksgiving Day, and lastly New Year's Day, my nuclear family and extended family members get together and have a big dinner together and say a prayer to the Lord, as we all are thankful for the life in which God has provided us, and we ask the Lord for better things to come in life. We always end our prayers for the things that we have rather than the things that we don't have, which always ends in saying the word Amen. The second tradition that I can think of is every year when my brother and I were younger, we would go pumpkin picking and pick the biggest pumpkins we could find, and later carve out the pumpkin. Those were the good old days where after we carved the pumpkins, we would go trick-or-treating in costumes and eat so much candy, but receive cavities, but it was worth it. One of my best memories I have with my father is he would take on the Lutheran tradition of taking my brother and I to the Easter egg hunt in the town in which we currently live in, on top of having our own Easter egg hunt in the house. Every time on my father's side of the family, when there is a holiday, birthday, graduation, funeral, wedding, or sobriety date celebration of our accomplishments in life, we celebrate. We go out to restaurants. We spend time together as a family. It is seen as a sign of respect, accomplishment, and prosperity. The third and final tradition that my father has passed down to me to possibly use for my future, possibly children, is eating dinner together as a family and doing family outings together while our loved ones are alive in today's moment and not the then moment. Lastly, about me. Who am I? I seem to have taken more of my mother's side of the family, but I'd rather like to change and adapt more to my father's side of the family. My father's side of the family did not seem to have any mental health issues and or addictions of any kind. I believe family is very important, as they are supposed to have your back in everything you do, even when you hit your rock bottom. I clearly have hit my rock bottom multiple times, but fortunately I am a fighter and a survivor in my addiction recovery. I have set rules and regulations that make up my boundaries between my actual family and my close friends whom I consider my family. My nuclear family comes first. My situation has an extension of my mother's family who consists of her domestic partner, and my other brother. My extended family, such as my granny, Aunt Barbara, and Aunt Crystal, whom I currently am on shaky grounds with due to my political affiliation. I always choose when to affiliate myself with my family members, but most of them I decide to distance myself due to an ethical difference in ideas, ideals, and political viewpoint. Sometimes I am picky and can seem selfish, but it's because sometimes I like things to go as I plan them out. I am very compassionate, caring, loving, and a great individual who is always promoting and advocating for change, peace, and love for all of my family members and friends, as I've learned from my father. My parents always taught me, when I was younger, no matter what you tell me, I will always love you as you are my child. Also, they said that they want me to become who I want and do what I want. And do what I want, which makes me happiest in life. My truth comes in the form of social working, as I would get to use my prior drug uses history and encourage ill-minded individuals who are addicted to drugs and alcohol to stay on the straight and narrow path to recovery. Personally, I am a man of God, because he saved my life when I overdosed on meth and crashed my car head on. The love of the Lord really has got me through my life's toughest struggles. The saying goes, God only puts the hardest struggles with an individual whom he understands can overcome the situation. I personally have never had a therapeutic relationship with any therapist because all they have come to the same realization, that I am too much of a danger to myself and I never believe in a word they tell me. As a social working college student, honesty and integrity are the most important core values in which I hold close to my heart. I am open to trying new things out from different cultures and religions, even though I will always be loyal to my Christian and Lutheran core values in life. After researching other cultures, if I find a tradition in which I like, I am more likely to adapt that tradition into my everyday life as a result and pass it on to my future generation. My perception on my ethnicity is I am a Christian who falls under the subcategory of American, German, Dutch, Irish, and Polish. This assignment really has me thinking about who I am as an individual, but in a racial background now. To finish this out, you may ask, who am I? I am a college-educated social working student who identifies as a European, German, Polish, Irish, and American citizen who loves to give back to my community and society. Thank you for listening and have a great day.